2-3 more menu.
The latest advisory from the Hurricane Center coming in just minutes ago. Right now, the unprecedented Category 5 storm is lashing the Bahamas. This is video posted on Facebook by Refresh Bahamas during the eye of the storm. Total and complete devastation. Though still largely unpredictable as it moves up the coast, you can see here that several models have the center of the cone over the Outer Banks as a Category 2 storm. Rochelle, did this new advisory shed any new light on the storm's path?
A little bit. We do have a couple more hurricane alerts in effect for the Florida coastline. Now those alerts come up to the border with Georgia north of Jacksonville. So Hurricane Dorian actually just between 10 and 11 o'clock. They're putting out these updates every hour now. Now down to 180 miles per hour instead of 185. Not too much of a difference, especially for those on Grand Bahama. 55 miles east of Freeport, but it has made another landfall, I believe, on the eastern side, of Grand Bahama. It's going to continue to creep. It's gone a little bit faster by 1 mile per hour, now moving at 6 instead of 5. So we're continuing to watch Dorian. Here it is on that tropical satellite again, just zooming in a little bit more. We could start to feel a little bit of some wind effects along the southeastern Florida coastline. So keeping an eye on that as, again, the storm moving due west at this hour. So zooming in just a little bit more, it did make landfall in Marsh Harbor, and this storm, one of the strongest to make landfall in the Atlantic in history, or on record. So here's Hurricane Dorian again, Category 5 catastrophic storm, continued to move off to the west before making a hook and then pushing off to the north and west. Again, we have all of these hurricane alerts in place across Florida. So anywhere in the purple is a hurricane warning. Hurricane watch a little farther to the north, Daytona Beach northward, up again toward that Florida Georgia border there, and then down just north of Miami we have a tropical storm watch in place, and we also have tropical or storm surge alerts in place right now from areas north of Miami up through West Palm Beach, Cape Canaveral, Daytona Beach, and again through Jacksonville, north of Jacksonville, toward that line with Georgia and Florida. Here at home, very quiet evening, nothing really to track. Didn't see any showers out there as we moved through your Sunday evening into the long weekend. And of course, I'll have your Labor Day forecast and what we could potentially expect from Dorian. And of course, I'm all over Twitter posting, reposting different information, so you can follow me on there as well. But I will see you with an updated forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
And you've been seeing the cone of uncertainty a lot over the past few days. So what exactly does it mean? Well, the cone is the probable track of the center of the storm. Roughly 2/3 of the time, the center of the storm will remain in that cone. But here's where it gets tricky. The cone does not tell you the size of the storm. It also doesn't show potential impacts from a storm, which often do take place outside of the cone. And as we told you last night, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has already declared a state of emergency ahead of the storm. We have not heard anything yet from Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. Georgia and South Carolina's governors today both ordered a mandatory evacuation of the two states' entire coast. That starts tomorrow. Right now, volunteers from our local Red Cross are headed to Florida to help. 13 News Now reporter Megan Purrier talked with one man who's already down there. He says they're ready for whatever the hurricane may bring.
As many people watch from home and meteorologists track Dorian's direction, others are about to face the storm head on.
While the storm is changing direction, people on the ground have to be ready for wherever it lands.
We're prepared if it hits Florida. We're prepared if it hits Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Right now, Anthony Tornetta of the Red Cross is set up in Florida.
If it makes landfall in Florida, we'll be ready. We have pre-positioned teams and trailers, and we've identified evacuation centers and shelters.
Tornetta says the Red Cross teams are mobile and can take supplies to whoever gets hit.
We have more than 60 tractor trailers full of equipment, cots, blankets, food, cleanup kits, supplies to last for evacuation centers and for shelters. And then as we start the recovery process moving forward afterwards.
After the storm passes through, these teams will stay on the ground to help those in need.
And we'll be here for the weeks and months ahead. As long as people need Red Cross assistance, we'll be on the ground supporting.
But Tornetta says that if your area gets a mandatory evacuation, you need to leave immediately.
To heed those warnings and get out. Make a plan now, figure out where your evacuation is going to be, what your route is, where you're going to stay. That's what's going to be your life-saving plan.
And he says making the right decision is vital.
We can help you rebuild your house. We can help you clean up your house, but we can't replace a life. And so that's what's most important.
And if you want to help those impacted by the storm, the Red Cross can always use some help.
With 90% of our workforce are volunteers. They literally drop everything at home and they run into disaster impacted areas and help. But maybe you don't have the time to do that. Consider making a blood donation.
In Norfolk, I'm Megan Purrier, 13 News Now.
Locally based Virginia Task Force 2 has an 80-member team with truckloads of equipment down in Florida. They posted these photos on their Facebook page from the Orlando Conference Center. The post says all members are in good spirits, especially after getting some rest last night. And a team from Operation Blessing left Chesapeake for Florida on Friday. They packed a box truck with a refrigerator and have cleanup and construction supplies. Organizers will provide help when needed. A team from Chesapeake's Mercy Chefs is also en route. They will provide hot meals for those impacted by Hurricane Dorian with their mobile kitchen. And it's not a bad idea for you to start preparing. The Department of Homeland Security says there are 6 things to know before a disaster hits. Know where shutoff valves are for your gas and electric. Make a plan with your family, knowing where to go, what to do, and how to reunite. Make sure you have insurance. Plan for your pets. And finally, know your evacuation routes. For more information like this, check out 13 News Now Hurricane Center. We put all you need to know for hurricane season in one place. You can find it on our app and on 13newsnow.com. And we have sad news tonight from the Outer Banks. A 61-year-old man from Virginia died in the ocean near Hatteras Village. We're told a bystander saw the man in distress and pulled him from the water just before 5:30 this afternoon. Rescue crews tried CPR on the man, who is from Oak Hill in Northern Virginia, but it was too late. The exact cause of death is unknown, but there was a high risk of rip currents for most of the beaches along Cape Hatteras National Seashore. This is the second water-related death there this year. Next, we continue our coverage of Hurricane Dorian with new images of the storm as it ravages the Bahamas. We'll take you there for the latest after a quick break.
Man, this TV's lame.
Hey guys, you need a breakthrough.
With the low payment finder from Conn's Home Plus.
Good credit or building it, it finds the lowest payment tailored to you.
Value City Furniture introduces the best sleep experience ever, Dream Mattress Studio. Hurry to the Labor Day sale, and the more you buy, the more you save with up to 20% off mattresses. Plus, enjoy 60-month special financing. No minimum purchase required. And don't miss Labor Day doorbusters while they last. Plus, come in store and get 2 free memory foam pillows when you take our Dream Comfort test. Shop our exclusive Dream Mattress Studio during the Labor Day sale, now at Value City Furniture.
Toyota's National Clearance Event is on. Now's the time to get great deals on the last of the 2019s, including our most popular models like the adventurous RAV4, stylish Highlander, sporty Camry, and more. Right now, lease an adventure-ready RAV4 for just $199 a month. Or buy one and get $1,250 finance cash from Toyota. The deals end September 3rd. Get yours before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places.
The most important place on earth. Most important from Haynes. More value for your money. The most important day in furniture. 50% more off the documented lowest price. 9 a.m. Monday. Get 25% off that. 25% more off the Labor Day sale price. $25 a month. No money down. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Labor Day, 50% off. This year, 25% more off that.
Don't look good.
Yeah, it looks like it's both. Just what I don't need.
This is what you do need. Complete the application within minutes, and if approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow. Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Get over our name. Get 30 to 70% off luxury furniture. The Dump.
Hurricane Dorian is crawling toward the U.S. mainland tonight after slamming into the Bahamas as a powerful Category 5 storm with 185-mile-per-hour winds. Elizabeth Hurd joins us from Daytona Beach tonight.
For days, officials here in Florida have said Hurricane Dorian will be dangerous and residents need to be prepared. Well, now having seen the damage done in the Bahamas, I can tell you no one is taking any chances. Hurricane Dorian making history as the strongest storm ever to strike the northern part of the Bahamas.
We need help. Please, someone please come help us.
Dorian leaving a path of catastrophic destruction, ripping roofs off buildings, shredding homes into pieces, and the rain and storm surge flooding streets with feet of water. The eye of the storm passing right through the Abaco Islands, where ABC's Marcus Moore and team took cover.
Look at that. Those are the wind gusts that we have seen and that officials have warned about.
The monster storm now marching towards the U.S., threatening millions along the East Coast, from Florida to Georgia and the Carolinas.
North Carolina has to take this seriously. Be ready.
Some authorities already announcing voluntary and mandatory evacuations beginning Monday in parts of South Carolina and Florida, where hurricane warnings are also now in effect.
It's nothing set in stone here. That's why we're trying to prepare for the worst.
In Daytona Beach, Florida, most business owners and residents heeding that warning from officials, spending the day boarding up their windows and stocking up some more just in case.
We got 9 sheets of plywood here, and then we got, I think, maybe 4 cases of water at home, 11 gallons of gas, and a generator.
Once you live through a few of them, you learn to respect Mother Nature.
There you have it. The people we talked to, as you just heard, know how to prepare for hurricanes, and they say they know to leave when those evacuation orders go into effect tomorrow. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Next, Rochelle is looking at the potential impact Hurricane Dorian could have on Hampton Roads and eastern North Carolina. Stay tuned.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. Now through Labor Day, get 20% estimated savings on these Ford SUVs. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards.
Look at these. They're valuable Rooms to Go Labor Day bonus coupons in your newspaper or online at roomstogo.com. Good now through Monday, Labor Day. Coupons that save you big money on great-looking furniture in every category. And now is the perfect time to shop and get extra savings with your bonus coupons. Plus, to make buying easier, finance interest-free until March 2024. That's now through Monday only. Labor Day bonus coupon savings at Rooms to Go.
At Kroger, we've got more ways to save, great sales, digital coupons, and fuel points that really add up. So saving is easy.
If you're injured, don't talk to the insurance company. They will do anything to save them money. It doesn't cost you anything to meet with Huffman & Huffman. They'll make sure you get the money you deserve.
Let our family help your family.
I'm looking at that truck. Wow.
That's awesome.
This Labor Day, everyone's excited about Chevrolet.
Oh, wow.
They're all really cool cars.
Woo, I love it. I can't stop staring at it.
Ride out the summer in a new Chevrolet this Labor Day.
Wow.
It's time to upgrade. Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $750 on most 2019 Equinox models. And during the Labor Day sales event, make no monthly payments for 90 days. The Labor Day sales event ends September 3rd.
We're back with a close look at Hurricane Dorian and the Category 5 storm's potential path. Rochelle.
Yeah, just imagine kind of a very slow bulldozer moving over an area. That's kind of what Dorian is for the Bahamas as we look at it with this 11 o'clock update, moving at 6 miles per hour. Those wind speeds, they have decreased, but don't let your guard down. They're still at 180 miles per hour. That would make it still one of the top historic storms, but we saw that max wind speed get up to 185 miles per hour. So this storm has already made history and definitely currently making a huge difference in the lives of many Bahamians across the islands of Abaco and also Grand Bahama right now. It's 55 miles east of Freeport. That's Grand Bahama Island. It did push over the island. We'll take a closer look at this. Those wind speeds at 180 miles per hour. Pressure still very low, 914 millibars. And again, moving at only 6 miles per hour. So this is going to be an overnight event for not just Grand Bahama, but other areas. Take a look at the cloud coverage of Dorian. We'll take a look at the size of it in just a second. But just looking at this absolutely massive storm. This was the strongest Atlantic hurricane landfall at 185 miles per hour. That was near Marsh Harbor since the 1935 Labor Day hurricane. And anybody that knows something about weather history, you've most likely heard of that Labor Day hurricane. And it's somewhat eerie to think that we are in Labor Day weekend and this is happening at this point. So we had some people going out taking pictures and videos in the eye wall. National Hurricane Center urging them to get back inside because that eye only about 25 miles or so across. But when we look at the entire storm itself, 200 miles across, completely encompassing these islands. And again, we do have that hurricane warning in effect. So we've had in the last 4 years at least one Category 5 storm, and we have never had that in the satellite era. So as we add Dorian to that Category 5 storm list, these are just the storms in the last decade, and they've all come, the Category 5 storms have come in the last 4 years. So here's a look at these watches and warnings. I'm updating our web story as we speak. We have those watches and warnings all the way up to the Florida-Georgia state line. So most of the eastern Florida coast has some sort of tropical alert in place, and we also do have storm surge alerts in place as well. I'm going to be posting those after this update. So here's Hurricane Dorian. Again, we have those alerts on the Florida coastline. It's going to take a curve off to the north, and eventually it's going to hook back out, and possibly it'll flirt with the coastline, but the cone does still have some areas inland, and we can't quite rule out a landfall in Florida quite yet. That is still on the table, still possible. Exactly where to be determined. It's kind of where Dorian wants to go, so we're kind of just continuing to watch this storm. But as it moves off to the north, you're noticing the center of that cone, this red line, doesn't mean that's exactly where the storm is going to go, but it moves right over parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So could we see impacts from Dorian? Yes, we could. What exactly? Not yet determined. The intensity of potential rain, potential storm surge, winds to be determined. But again, look at these spaghetti models. They're again keeping it close to the coastline and then near, and that storm being 200 some miles across. If we have that, just 50 miles off the coastline, the eye of that storm, we're still going to get impacts on the southeastern coast of the United States. So back here at home, things are quiet. Very quiet. They've been quiet since yesterday. Skyview looking from downtown Norfolk on top of 13 News Now. That's where that camera is located, 77 degrees. So not too bad of an evening, as we head into the long weekend for some of us. That dew point at 73, so it's a little bit on the muggy side out there. Definitely feeling like the end of summer out there. It's definitely giving that summer-like feel. Satellite and radar zoomed out here. Not too much going on in the mid-Atlantic. We do have a couple of showers off of southeastern North Carolina. Out the door, if you're heading out, 72 in Chesapeake, 77 in Newport News, 72 in the Hosky. If the dog needs to go out, it's 76 in Moyock, and also for our neighbors in Hampton. Tonight, 71 degrees, mild and muggy, mostly clear. Again, we do have the dew points right now in the 70s, and when we get that, yeah, it's kind of on the sticky side, everybody. 7-day forecast. We warm up again on Wednesday, mid to upper 80s, but we're watching Thursday and Friday for potential impacts from Dorian. And look at those temperatures. We're back down into the potential 70s, so we are going to be watching definitely Thursday and Friday very closely. And of course, through the week, we'll be keeping update on Dorian and the track and how it could impact us here in Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina.
And we have the certified most accurate weather team in Hampton Roads for 9 years running now. You can trust us before a storm and when a storm hits. And coming up in sports, this former ODU Monarch tossed a no-hitter for the Houston Astros. Brian Smith has the highlights.